Hi, I'm Andy,
Hi, I'm Leon.
and this is...
Head Tales. How daughter's been. Do you know what?
Don't be looking up a skirt! I've got my socks on.
I don't care, I'm really sick.
Good evening, Leon.
Good evening, Andy.
How are you?
I'm well, thanks, you well?
Yeah, happy Dad Tales Day.
Happy Dad Tales Day, my friend.
How do you like that new intro?
I like it, it's good. It's good. But I think it's more we need to put out to the listeners and say, do they like our new intro? Do we need to go back to the old one and sharpen it up, or is the new one good?
Yeah,
It's
the old
feedback,
one's,
don't we?
yeah, the old one's a bit out of date, isn't it now?
Well, no one's got the right
yeah,
ages.
kids have all got beards and stuff now compared to when we did it originally. So, yeah, so let us know what you think. Is it good? Is it bad? Yay or nay?
Yeah.
We'll follow their guidance, won't we?
Yeah, I suppose it's when you put the cans on, see how loud it sounds or how distorted it sounds. Sometimes,
The cans, you're so in the game.
yeah, it's got to be,
You know what you're on about, don't you?
Yeah. I listen to mine in some big groovy headphones. I listen to it.
I could imagine.
That's all I've got. That just there.
You look like Prince, just wearing them.
Yeah,
on
that's
their
it.
own.
That's it. Yeah.
I've seen you walking around town. I hope that's not what you're just wearing. Oh, mate, how's your week been?
It's been good. I've had a good week. Sun's been shining, which has been good.
Yeah, it's been nice, hasn't it?
Yeah, I've had a couple of days off as well, which made it even better.
Oh, sweet.
So I've been to the beach. Just want to say, I am an influencer. Still going strong.
Of course you are.
Still going strong.
I don't know why this
influencing.
is a surprise to you. You are an influencer.
Yeah. So Bank Holiday Monday, we went to Ollithorpe Lake.
Yep.
Went kayaking. So we jumped up lake.
I think it's actually pronounced kayaking.
Kayaking?
Yeah.
Is that right?
No.
Oh, I thought you'd actually got some of that. But yeah, and then people from work have been going on my recommendation to the point where someone came up to me and was like, "Oh, we saw you being on Instagram, so we went." I was like, "Yeah, you did."
IG influencer.
I know, getting good. So if anyone wants to sponsor us or send me on a day trip somewhere, I have the power to influence people to do it.
Yeah, so if somebody wants to go somewhere but not sure how it's going to be, and they maybe want a test run,
Pay me and I'll go.
yeah,
Tell
send
you
you
about it.
send you
Yeah.
$1, you'll go check it out.
And let everyone know how good it is.
And let everyone
How
know
bad
it
it
is.
is.
Saves them wasting their time.
Yeah. The kids went to Gulliver's Kingdom this week, they said it was really good. I've never been.
I've never been, but kids have been, or I'm sure Ellie's been with your mum.
Oh, she?
I'm sure your mum used to do trips, didn't she?
we used to do trips, yeah, with all kids and that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure Ellie's definitely been.
Yeah. Maybe I have. I was going to call it Gulliver's Travel.
Well, they went travelling to the kingdom.
yeah.
So I suppose they did. Anything else good happen this week?
Been to the beach. That was good.
You know, I know, we've just said that.
Did I?
Yeah. How was the beach? Was it beach?
Yeah, good. Went swimming. Been swimming this week.
On the beach?
No, to actual swimming baths.
Swimming baths?
Been swimming baths. Been on a fast slide, really fast slide.
Super
Got my
fast.
belly.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, good golly.
Big belly. It cracked me in the face.
That unfortunate slide.
Yeah, and I feel like I've done something else as well.
Been for any walks or all like that?
Yeah, went to Eastington Ponds.
Again?
Yeah.
Now, we know what happened last time you went to this pond. Surely. Let us... What happened?
Yeah, the poo again. I can't take the kids to Eastington Ponds if I'm having a poo. And I had to ask another dog walker. So when I first got there this time, like last time someone walked past in there for a doggy bag or a poo bag.
So we should just mention, back when, right back in one of our
We're
first
talking
ever episodes,
second episode?
you took the kids to the ponds.
Yeah. About this time last year.
Yeah.
I bet it was.
It will have been about this time last year. Took them to the ponds. Noah needed a number 2.
He did.
He had one in like a bear in the
Yeah,
woods.
he did.
And
Wanted to bury it, I wouldn't let him.
had been a big hole. And you had to ask a dog walker for a poo bag.
Yeah, because he just happened to walk past. Because when he did it first time, I was just like, want to do this? As in like a bit of panic. This time, I had my wits about me. I was like, right, I'm off to the car to get some tissues. Because worst case scenario, I'd let him do it in a tissue, rolled up like a roll up and then put that in the bin. As I was walking back to the car to get tissues, there's a guy put a dog in the car and I was like, oh, can I pinch some bags, please? And he said, yeah, of course you can.
Some? How many was you expecting to use?
He gave me 2.
Did he?
Yeah.
As a spare? Oh, one as a glove.
One as a glove and then one to go into the bag. I'm not stupid.
Hey,
I've done this before, mate.
Yeah.
I've got previous.
You are a bit of an expert.
Yeah, so it was good. Well, it was good. It was entertaining.
Give us a rating out of 5.
2.
So Noah struck again
Yeah.
in the same place.
Yeah.
Literally 12 months
Yeah,
later.
yeah. And then we had to go home because Ava then needed a poo, and I was like, I'm not having this. We're not having both of us.
We've only got 2 poo bags.
Yeah, I'm not having this again. And then she'd have to coat there, didn't she? So we got home, and she was like, I was like, where's your coat? She's like, oh, I put it on the bench. Oh, you put it on the bench as we're leaving. So I had to go all the way back to Eastonton to get my coat.
Oh, no.
So I was fuming.
You was not happy.
No, well, it was alright. Nice to drive back out as well.
Did you have a poo while I was there?
I did.
So the first time, the whole story is obviously very amusing, but the first time you had to carry this bag of poo around with you,
Yeah.
didn't you? And people must have been looking at you going, you don't have a dog, why do you have a bag of poo?
Yeah. This time was lucky because it was right as you walk into the ponds, like a den building area. He did it well, kids build dens. No, just outside of there. So there's like bins there as well. So I pretty much came straight out, put it straight in bin. So I didn't have to walk around for this time. Whew.
I mean, you look at the advantage, I mean, at the moment, it's quite decent weather. If
Yeah.
it had been bad weather, you could have held it and kept your hands warm.
Did you just really say that?
I did. I'm always thinking, I'm thrifty, you see.
You're gross. You're gross. What have you done this week?
I don't remember doing much this week, but I feel like I've had a good week.
Good.
I think it's partly to do with it being nice weather.
Yeah.
You can just get outside and don't feel restricted. I feel like I've had a good week, like I say, but I don't feel I've done anything, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Lexi started a lifeguarding course this week,
Ooh.
so hopefully she can get herself through that and become a trained operator of leisure activities. I don't know if that was right.
That was a bit overselling the job, innit?
It was, wasn't it? Yeah. But
Watch the ball.
yeah, so that's it. That's quite nice because it's a very grown-up role, as we know.
Yeah.
And it just means she's getting to that age where she's becoming responsible and can kind of do them things.
That's got to be the big positive, isn't it? Seeing her grow up into, like, she's now becoming the balance of a responsible adult, nearly.
Yeah. I did my MPLQ when I was 16, I think, my first one.
I did mine when I was 16.
16, yeah. I think I passed it maybe when I was 17, but I started doing it when I was at college. So, yeah, it's a good thing. It's nice that she's following in our footsteps.
Yeah. I mean, I'd always say to someone who's like it's a good creating, good open door because it teaches you how to clean, teaches you how to be responsible, obviously bringing pay in and
talk to people.
Yeah, customer service.
Yeah.
And it has got a lot of responsibility to it because if you don't do it right, there's
a big consequence, isn't there?
Yeah, so I'd recommend it to anyone.
So it's good, yeah. So I'm pleased with that.
Right, let's do this. On to the topic. What we got this week, Andy?
So what we've asked the kids this week, what's the hardest thing about being your age? And then what's the best thing about being your age? So shall I go first?
Yeah.
I'm going to start at the top with this one. I'm going to start with Ellie.
Mm-hmm.
So Ellie, obviously being 21, the worst thing about being her age is like paying bills and stuff.
Yeah.
Getting to that age where you think, oh God, I've committed to buying a car. I have to pay for it every month. Can I just have a month off? No, unfortunately, you can't go commit to that. But the best thing about it is very similar to, it's kind of the opposite. It's not been over committing to stuff. She's just hit last year of university, so she's not in a full-time job. She can still technically kind of holiday when she wants. She's kind of probably got one more big summer maybe before she has to start thinking of getting a job and a career and things, unless she travels, something like that. So that's she's got a lot of options, I think, at the moment of things to do. So it's a nice position to be in, I think.
Yeah, that links back to mine. So when I go through mine later on, that's the worst thing now. They're all gone. I am genuinely a responsible adult. I've got to raise 2 children. I've got to run a house. Therefore, I can't just do things on a whim, which you used to be able to do when I was 18 to 20.
Yeah.
So that was that. I mean, I'm not jumping to myself, but that was my downside of my age. Is I can't unless I have a midlife crisis, and then that's still going to have some sort of effect on my family when I'm riding a motorbike, or driving a sports car.
Do we need to just scroll back just 30, 40 seconds or so when you said you're a responsible adult?
Like it or lump it, I'm meant to be a responsible adult.
I suppose, you're taking poo bags around parks and stuff nowadays.
I'm keeping them alive.
Yeah.
That's responsible.
Yeah.
I'm putting a roof over their head. I'm not doing a bad job.
That's a fair point. It's a fair point.
So, doing that. So, so what else did you get then for Lexi?
Lexi's gone. So what is the hardest thing about being her age? It's starting to make decisions. So she's sort of finishing school, starting college. So it's kind of making them decisions and having to stand by those.
Yeah.
You know, if it's a case of going, right, I'm going to college, I'm doing this course, I've got to commit to doing that. We just said about the lifeguard course, that's something that you've got to commit to.
Yeah.
If that's something that she wants to do post doing it, then fine. If not, that's fine as well. But at this moment in time, you started something, you commit to it.
Don't you feel like the youth of today, when they get to like your Lex's age, there seems to be far more pressure than there was when we got there? And I don't know if it's a boy-girl thing, but I see like when kids are like got to make choices, you've got to decide what you're going to do for college. I just floated through it. I mean, when I did my options, year 9, because they're sort of gearing you, whatever your options I choose, they're like sort of testing the water. If you like that sort of thing, you can do it when you go to college. And then when you actually go to college, that's gearing you up for, that's your career ready for university, or you do an apprenticeship type thing into the big wide world. I sort of floated through mine, and so did all my friends that I can remember. But now it just seems to be, you've got to do this, and you've got to do it right. And the expectations seem to be about a million times worse. I don't know if that's just me I don't know.
I'd 100% agree. I think there's a lot of pressure in schools to go, you need to know what you're doing. You need to know what you're doing. And people's careers change.
Exactly.
Hence why we said this before. We've done qualifications as adults, which could lead us in any type of direction.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why you still stay in an education system into your 30s, 40s, and 50s, because things can change, and there's still the ability to be able to do that in your 30s, 40s, and 50s and beyond. So I just don't see why there is so much pressure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying someone should be like snowflakey and go, yeah, I don't like that, and they've not really tried it. I think if you're going to do something, then give it a good go, and if it's not for you, then that's fine. But it seems like they've got to get that right, and then that's it. That's you've walked down that door. That's it. That's your career path, and off you go. And you've chosen that option.
I think in my life, going right back to primary school, when I think of my friends at primary school, 2 people knew exactly what they wanted to do at primary school, and they're doing that now. But that's, out of everybody I know, I don't know anybody else that's done that.
Yeah, I don't know anybody. I cannot tell you any, like when I was at school, you'd say, oh, there's thing he wants to be a police officer, or this thing he wants to be a fireman, or do you know those sort of things where you go after that thing. I can't tell you anybody that said, oh, I'm going to do that and go be it. Like, I want to be a train driver. I want to be an astronaut. I mean, I never said I wanted to be a facility manager of a leisure centre. Do you know what I mean? My natural path was sport, and all I've done is sport, and all I know is sport. So it was like a progression that pushed me in that way. But I've got friends that like working on power stations and stuff like that, and you'd never expect them to have done that when we was leaving school. And even the ones that came through with us when we were working in industry together, some of them they've gone off to do like engineering and stuff like that.
And people that have obviously gone to university and done something at university and then gone on to do something completely different.
Yeah.
That's a common thing. I would say that was more common than not common.
Yeah, well, like I said, I know a few. Yeah, like a few that was with us at Leisure Centre, went off to university, came back, worked at Leisure Centre, and then went off to do something massively different, or stayed in our industry.
Yeah. I just think I'm a big believer in do what you enjoy doing.
Yeah,
and I think that's the key thing for me.
Do you think it's schools that have got so much pressure to hit this time? Because everything seems to be more, like the schools are more privatised. If you look at the way they operate like a privatisation of in like to get funding, they've got to hit certain grade criteria, things like that. So it's a case of they don't want kids going, oh, I want to try that. No, I don't do this now, because that's you're behind for the rest. So if you say you did food tech and then moved to music, you're going to be behind, aren't you? If you switched across, or it's the same with like, I don't know, choosing your options or choosing your college.
I think so, yeah. And I think obviously primary schools feed to high schools, feed to colleges, feed to universities. And I think what a school wants to do is say, well, we've got this amount of pupils that have been through our system, these amount of pupils that have passed, these are now going on to further education, these are going off into work. I think they prefer them to stay in education for as long as possible, really. So yeah, I think that's the more common route now, that schools want to push people in that direction. But interestingly enough, where Lexi's answer was, so starting school, making decisions, standing by those decisions, that's what she thought was the hardest thing. But that's also a thing that she's kind of looking forward to as well. So she's got the same answer for both. So she's kind of thinking, I do that, but I've got options here. My world's sort of opening up a little bit. You know, she's 8-9 months away from potentially learning to drive.
Whoa!
I know. So it's the world then becomes a much bigger place to live.
It does
if you can drive and things like that. So yeah, so she's kind of got the same things. Andy's just turned 9. So when I asked her about what's the hardest thing about being her age, she says probably arguments with friends at school. And there's a lot of playground politics
Yeah.
of who wants to play with who, and no, I'm playing with them. What does that mean? I can't play with you. And I think it's hard at the moment because they're in bubbles. They can kind of see each other across the playground, but
Yeah.
they can't play together. So I think that's probably part of it. And she says the best thing about being her age is getting toys.
Oh, nice.
I think again that's partly because you just had
Had
a
a
birthday.
yeah, so
So
in
yeah,
the moment.
it just seems to what's come round at that time.
Nice.
But interesting answers. What do you get?
So I'll start with favourite oldest. So she said the good thing about being her age is that she gets to do things on her own, such as make teas and coffee. So she's now of an age, she's 8, so we're now letting her go, put kettle on, things like that. When she makes tea and coffee, it's under our supervision, but she's doing it all independently and stuff like that. So that's the thing she's liking. And then the thing she doesn't like, do you know, a bit like Lexi, she ain't independent enough. Like, she wants to go do other things. So, because we're letting her do bits and bobs, it's like, well, I can do that now, so now I want to do this. But then the next thing is maybe a step too far. Like we mentioned a moment, like, she wants to go swimming on her own. She can.
Yeah, she's at an age
But-
where in theory she could. couldn't
Yeah,
she?
I mean, I was swimming the other day and she was like off doing her own things. It was nice just to watch her, you know, like on her own. Obviously, I was there, so I'd rather do it where I'm not there and just see how she gets on. But Marlo, can you come pick her up? She's been naughty so hard.
Yeah, she's been thrown out.
Yeah.
How many times did your mum pick you up for being thrown out?
She didn't pick me up, I just got thrown out to walk home.
She refused to pick you up.
I'd do like a full lap and then put like a disguise on, put banana nose on and moustache. But yeah, so hers is like a double edge. She's loving the fact that she's now getting to do things, but then she wants to do more and more.
Yeah.
So, which I think I can get that. Do you know what I mean? She's middle road, really.
Responsibility for kids is prime, I think. And I think
Yeah.
as well, I'm talking to Lexi a lot this week, obviously from our last sewing challenge and things like that. We talked about why aren't kids kind of learning these skills and stuff.
Yeah.
And that the responsibilities. Lexi's been doing things at school because she's sort of finished. Her maths teacher's been talking to her about like loans and mortgages and things
That's
like
good.
that.
That is good.
And I think that type of stuff should be taught more in schools.
Oh, I agree.
And the responsibility of running a household. When I bought my first house, you know, I didn't realise how much stuff you need that you just take for granted that your mum and dad have just got you. And I think having that understanding of, you know, how to make a cup of tea and even down to things like how you can be more economical with stuff, you know, not filling the kettle up fully, just buying what you need, you know, shower rather than bath. I think stuff like that needs to be taught more to kids nowadays.
Yeah, I think it's amazing, like how many, well, in society we're shocked that there's so many people that have got like gambling problems or they're not very good at managing the finances. Yet they're 16, 17, they go get a job and they're getting 200 quid a week or something and you think, well, no wonder, they're like kids in a sweet shop.
Yeah.
They're now allowed to gamble, they're now allowed to drink, do you know what I mean? So no wonder they've got all these vices and they want to do it. I just can't believe we don't educate better from like 40. Because I remember doing, do you know PSE? Was it PSE? You just like, you do like sex education and things like that in it. It should be in part of all that, in like, do you know, because they're life skills and stuff. So it should be how to manage your finances, always put so much away to save and the importance of doing it. But I suppose kids don't know that, do they?
It's them fundamentals, isn't it? British values and things. It's
Yeah.
just understanding about just be nice to people.
But that's gone out window.
Yeah, a little bit. But I think stuff like that, as you obviously, because it's not taught in our education system, that's something that as a parent that you're having to teach and add in, and you know, yes, you can have the responsibilities of doing this because this is what we have to do.
Yeah.
And sometimes when it'll be a case of, I don't know, pots need washing, if that becomes one of her jobs, or dishwasher needs emptying, it's still a job you've got to do. So sometimes you've got to do it when you don't want to do it. So again, it's just understanding them things, isn't it? So does she have her own, what I would consider sort of chores that are just hers?
No, and I think we need to get to that process, and it's a case of, I don't know if it's me, I'm too not protective, but I just want them to be kids. I don't want them to grow up.
It's that fine line.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
And like if I'm thinking, I've not got a problem with washing pots. I've not got a problem with doing, like sometimes she'll say, "Can I wash up?" And I'll go, "Yeah, I'll do it." Do you know what I mean? But I don't want to go, "Oh, I'll go wash up," because that's another thing. Because I make her read, I make her do a spelling. Do you know what I mean? I make her do the things like tidy up. Do you know? And like, but that's her mess tidying up.
Yeah.
Whereas if I'm now going right and I got to push her over around, she'd do it and she'd love to do it. But I think she's a kid. Let her be a kid.
Yeah.
And I can't let that go at this moment in time. When she's like 14, 15, I think there'll be a job list if you're living under my roof.
Maybe what she needs is another fish.
No, she
can
don't.
take responsibility for her own fish.
Because she'll do it for 2 days and then, no, don't do that. I still need to get you back. I've had a prime opportunity to get you back and I still haven't done it, have I? Oh, man.
Yeah, that's maybe what it is. What's Noah got?
So Noah went with the worst thing about being 5 is he's not big enough / old enough to go on big rides.
Oh.
This comes back from Gulliver's Kingdom when they went. Now, Gulliver's Kingdom's great for young ones. It's pretty much probably from 5 to, I don't know, probably like 9, something like that.
Yeah.
Anything older than that, and it's not really a thing. But he felt that the rides he was on were good, but it was bigger rides now.
Yeah.
Thrill seeker. Whereas to go to the next stage of rides, we're going to have to go like Alton Towers, where I think he'd then be just too small at this moment in time.
Well, Andy's been to Alton Towers this week.
She has, yeah.
And absolutely scared to death.
Oh, shit.
What big rides, yeah.
Wicker Man.
Yeah. She's been on it, and yeah.
Yeah, so she's probably similar size to Ava. I reckon they're probably just right to go on those big rides, not much off it.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas, like I say, he's nowhere there, so he's like, oh, I want to grow up so I can go on big rides and stuff.
I think as well, it's finding that balance in it of kind of showing them rides. There needs to be like a midway ride, don't there? Because what now Andy will think is, I'm never going on roller coaster again, that's just going to... So she'll get to 11, 12, 13, and then she'll be just like, I'm definitely not going on roller coasters. But actually, it maybe just, you need kind of that mid-ride.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what kind of rides in that. But yeah, the other thing is, because Noah's only quite small, isn't he? He's not going to be 8 foot tall.
No.
So he could get to 10, 11 and still just miss out. I remember going to Blackpool as a kid, and it was always, oh, maybe next year, because I was only small as a kid. Just maybe next year you'll be big enough. And then get next year, and we're not grown. Get some bigger heels on. Going in some 6 foot.
I never remember me being not tall. I was tall for my age, and then when we got to like 15, everyone sort of like caught me up, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I never remember that, as in like not being able to go on something because I was too small.
Yeah, I remember. I think secretly I was like, oh, look at that roller coaster, I really want to go on it. And then get to board, and I'm like, scrunching down.
Yeah, dropping your
I'm
shirt.
not big enough, Mum, can't go on that ride.
Like, put your black frames on. But yeah, so, and then he said the best thing about being his age is schoolwork's easy for a 5-year-old. I was like, you smug get. But yeah, he says at this moment in time he finds schoolwork easy. But I did try to explain to him, as you get older, if you keep on as you are now on the same trajectory, schoolwork's not going to be always easy, but you're going to find it comfortable because you've got that nice base. It's when you start taking your eye off the ball and sit on your laurels, when work progresses, if you don't go with the progression point, that's when you start to struggle.
I think as well, when they get to high school, there's more lessons, isn't there?
Yeah.
And the concentration has to be greater, because, I mean, Lexi was doing like triple maths or something. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's not
3 lessons of maths back to back.
Who thought that?
Where did your concentration level start? Drop on that. These are 15, 16-year-old kids with a concentration level of about 30 minutes.
If
probably.
that is, I mean.
We saw this during lockdown when homeschooling and that. You just can't keep them focused for so long. So yeah. So what was yours then? You said about yours. What's good about being your age?
So the bad thing. I'll start with the bad thing.
All
The
right.
bad thing is that I'm now a responsible adult, which I mentioned. Therefore, I
can't just
do what I want. I've lost that ability. The good thing about being my age is
we should just mention there though, you do have a fair bit of freedom, don't you?
oh yeah, I'm not shackled down. I can't do no, and I ain't got no response. It was just the old like what Lexi said about like when you're like 18 to 21, 22. World's your oyster. Do you know what I mean? I could do what I want, go where I wanted, drop of a night. Do you know if someone said, "Oh, rough out, let's go"? I had no other responsibility. Apart from a job, I had no other responsibility that'd stop me from doing something. So if I was out of my work time, I could do what I want. Go play golf, go train. I mean, at one point, I was working like shifts, weren't we? I'd train all day, like on bike, running, swimming, go to work, do a night shift, play on computer till like 2 in the morning, get up and do it all again. Do you know what I mean? The whole freedom of doing what you want when you want
don't forget last week's episode was living your best life. Wipe those tears
I was
away.
going to say, I got really excited then.
Without turning back the clock.
But I won't give that. I won't want that back for what I've got now. But they're the times when the whole freedom, I could just do what I wanted. Like tomorrow when I clock off from work, I've got to sort tea. I've got to take no training. I've got to then bath them and so. They're the things I enjoy because it's
just
family
a different
time.
stage of your life.
Of course it is, yeah. And I don't want to replace that with that because you can't be willing to risk all your life because you haven't got enough money to do that.
Yeah.
I've got bills to pay.
So is that the good thing then about that? So what do we get to there? The bad.
The bad thing is that
you've got responsibility.
I've got but not bad. I've got responsibility. It's bad that I can't just do what I want when I want. I mean, I technically can, but something's got to be negotiated for me to do that. I.e., I can't just go right. I want to go play golf tomorrow because if Amy's at work or like that, I have to say right. Are you at work on such and such? No. Right. Okay. I'm gonna. Everything has to be scheduled. Nothing can be done on the fly. That's about right, isn't it?
I think that is right. Yeah. I mean, you missed out there.
Made me sound like I'm bad and...
You missed yourself out there about asking for permission. So it's like, I forgot.
Yeah, I have to ask permission.
You're so pretty. Can I go golf tomorrow?
Something like that.
I miss my friends.
Now, the best thing about being 33...
Oh, was that not the best? Oh, right, sorry.
is that I'm not 40 yet.
Oh, man.
And I'm the good side of 35. I'm still the good side of 40 because I'm under 35. So I'm like under the...
But what's good about that?
I'm still young.
Yeah, but let's be fair. Anything could happen at any time.
All right. Whoa. Put them worms back in that tin.
But do you know what I mean? Whether we obviously know people that haven't made it to our age.
Oh, yeah.
So what's good about being your age now? You can't just say what's good about being my age is that
I'm still young.
I'm still
young. Got me health. That's good. Could be worse.
Got your elf. It's not Christmas.
Because after that, I'm clutching at straws. What's good about being 33? What is good about being 33?
I don't know.
Because 33 is the same as 34. 33 is the same as 32.
No, it's not. It's completely not. One's 32, one's 33. It's like saying black is the same as blue.
No, but age is just a number, and I'm a big advocate of age is just a number. If I'm 32, or 34, or 38, unless my knees give up on me or all like that, then nothing's really changed too much, is it?
There's a lot of subliminal blows being thrown in here. You're not 40. Your knees haven't gone.
Sorry, I forgot. I forgot you're 40, you got bad knees.
Oh, man. It's just... Where's that bus?
the problem is I see you as near enough my age. I forget you're...
I actually think I'm younger than you.
You look younger than me. But yeah, I genuinely forget how old you are compared to me.
Yeah, I don't feel 40.
No.
When I say that, I don't. In my head, I suppose I don't feel
man,
40.
in my head, I'm like 18 still.
Yeah, I think I am. 18 stone.
Yeah. Sometimes I wake up and forget, like, how old I am.
Do you?
Yeah. Like age is just numbers. Like, there's a tipping point where age, like, the whole... Yeah, it's nice to celebrate your birthday, but it's just a number. I get the big 4-0, the big 5-0s, the big 6s. They're the nice little landmarks to be chipping away at, but...
My disappointing thing about being my age is when you get reminded of it. You know, so when you're filling forms in, and it's not like anymore 26 to 30, 31 to 35.
Yeah.
It's like you're 40 to 44. Ooh, and then when you think 44, oh, God. Yeah, so that's what's bad about me, my age. I don't know what's good about being my age. I don't know. I suppose, like you, I'm alive and kicking. I'm fairly healthy. Apart from that.
Well, if you said that's to a 55-year-old, or they'd say the same thing. What's good about being your age? Well, there's not particularly good about adults. But once you get to that adult stage, and depending on how you set your stall out of what you want to be as an adult, whether it be a family man or you want to be not have a family and go off and do different adventure. Everyone has a different walk of life.
Yeah. I suppose the only thing my next stage in life is retirement.
I'm looking forward to retirement.
I can't wait.
I honestly can't wait to retire.
That'll be good days.
I'm taking early retirement if I can get it. taking it. Taking it.
Are we done on
She's
that?
working to the bitter end, and I am going early. Shouldn't know that yet.
Leon, how did you get on with this week's challenge?
It was good. We had to.
More importantly, did you complete it?
We did. We completed it. We did it yesterday. Yesterday, I think we did it yesterday. Sun was absolutely.
You did it at the weekend.
Yeah, I did it the weekend. Sun was absolutely glorious.
Oh, nice one.
And yeah, it was just nice. We're getting garden. I had to prize him out in garden all day. I was like, come on, the sun's out. And like, no. At one point, I'd send them in because, do you know when the kids have had too much sun, you can tell they were like flagging. I was like, go sit inside for a little bit.
So the challenge
They're playing a
was
paddling pool now.
to throw a ball in a circle, 2 balls in a circle.
Yeah.
Simultaneously.
Yeah.
That's the right word, isn't it? So you got 2 balls going at the same time in a circle, throw, catch
Yeah.
for 1 minute.
Yeah. So when I first got this challenge, I thought, yeah, easy. Absolute doddle. Forgetting I've got a 5-year-old whose catching ability is probably not the best. He can catch, but
The difficult thing is the 2 balls, isn't it?
yeah,
That's where it-
yeah. If I'd have got Amy involved, we'd have nailed this straight away, nice and easy. Because it'd been a case of I'm to Amy while Noah's to Amy, and we'd just gone like that round. But because there was 3 of us, it was the case of I'm throwing a ball as the ball's coming towards me.
Yeah.
Now me and Ava, not too bad. There was a couple of drops, but when it came to Noah, poor lad, it was as he's releasing the ball, he's watching to make sure the ball's come to me, but the ball's coming towards him at the same time. So we had to swap it around. So it was a case of that I could then sort of wait for him, but I could release and collect the ball at the same time from Ava.
Yeah.
So at some points, I had 2 balls in my hand and I was having to one-handed catch. Brag, brag, brag.
Left-handed catch.
Yeah, it was a left-handed catch as well.
There was no... Certainly, the idea of these is to be fun.
Oh,
And to
yeah.
And the idea of this one, obviously, was hoping it was going to be a good week. Get outside and do something that's a bit different in garden. So we're certainly not going to put a million different rules on that.
Oh, no.
One person holding 2 balls.
The thing I liked about it was we started through 1, we got that nailed, and then it was then we would choose the second ball. It went a bit chaotic, so we had to like go back to which is why we changed direction. I think we did it first time. I was to Noah because Noah's catching the hardest because I could sort of feed him a better catch. Whereas throwing, we're good to go. But we had to switch it when it came to 2 balls because, like I say, a ball coming while he was chucking a ball and waiting for it to come to him.
Yeah, I should have said you have to throw 2 rugby balls.
Band of. We went with sponge balls, so they weren't too hard.
Yeah.
We started off with a tennis ball, and we brought in. The hardest thing was finding 2 balls of similar sizes as well. So we used the sponge ball, but the yellow sponge balls. You know what we'd use for short tennis and stuff.
Yeah.
We had some of them because, like I say, we started off with like footballs and also we tested different balls out to see which one was the best one to be catching, throwing, and catching. But we found a littler one was the better one.
Really? I would
Yeah.
have gone bigger.
Well, the bigger one with the football when we was doing it, for some reason.
You was worried about somebody losing teeth.
Well, Butterfingers kept kicking in. Do you know sometimes when you clap too hard somehow?
Yeah.
I was noticing that was going on a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed it.
So challenge completed.
Yeah, we'll take the brownie points.
Good.
Yeah. I didn't film it because I couldn't set a camera up and...
No, but I have 100% trust in you. I know you've done it, and as long as you enjoyed it, that was good. Our challenge. What you got for us?
So, are you pushing the button? Pass it over to
Here
the
it
kids.
is. Beep.
Hi.
So, our challenge this week, how was it?
Hard.
It was alright.
It was alright, but very hard.
It was very hard, yeah? Why was it hard?
Well, you see, Noah wouldn't throw the ball right.
Yes, I was.
Half the time it was too low. Half the time it was too high.
Hang on, let's not fall out. We had fun, didn't we?
Sort of.
Oh, wow, look at you two. Well, I enjoyed it. We had to change direction, didn't we? Because we figured out it was a bit hard going one way compared to the other, didn't we? But I enjoyed it. It was nice to be out in the sun. It was nice to be having fun. Yeah? What would you give it out of 10 then?
What, by fun
As in,
or hard?
as a challenge, as a good challenge.
9.
0.
0? Why 0?
Because they made it really hard.
It was hard. It was a good hard challenge. It was good. And it forced us to go outside, didn't it? Into the sun. Yeah? Right then. It's our turn to give them a challenge.
Yes.
What should we give them?
Okay.
We're going to challenge you to make a baton burger.
A Battenberger?
Battenberg.
Make a Battenberg, yeah.
Yeah. You can do it in whatever colours you want.
Yeah, so we don't want to do it in traditional colours, do we? We want to go for different colours.
I had
Yeah.
hiccups.
Yeah. Right then, so let's see how they go on. Do you reckon they'll find it easy?
No.
Don't you?
I don't even know how to make a Battenberg because I
No.
never made them.
We like baking though, don't we? Which is why we've set it.
I think we usually would challenge them to do something we like.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. We give them things that we like and they give us things that they like. Yeah?
I don't think I like sewing. Bye.
Bye.
Right, thanks for that. We'll get cracked on with that this weekend. We will do that. Let's hope it's a rainy weekend so we can stay indoors. But yeah, we're on it. Right, what have you learned this week?
I've pretty much said what I've learned this week. I brought up earlier on that I need to start taking poo bags wherever I go with kids.
Just everywhere.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. Because we was on for a walk around Easton to Ponds, it was like a quick thing. We would normally take a bag which would have like left
Wipes
up, like
and stuff
wipes and
like-
like nappy bags and stuff like that. Although last time we did this one, we didn't take it, did we? And did I say my lesson last time was to take things like
I
that?
think so, yeah, to be more prepared.
Yeah.
What you need is something like that just in car, don't you?
Yeah, good shout.
But then if you went for a walk, sit at Seaside and you had an in car, you wouldn't think, you're half a mile down shore, I'll just run back to the car.
No. I need to maybe have a spade with me. I can just dig it and bury it going forward.
Yeah, that won't look suspicious, will it? If you didn't once-
What's he doing? Having a poo. Well, that's okay then.
just set fire to it.
But yeah, outside of that, I've not learned anything. I've just had a steady middle of the road week. Well, I've had a busy week really. I've had a couple of days off, which has been nice. So I've learned.
Have you relaxed?
From home time.
Have you switched off a bit?
Yeah.
Having a couple of days off? Because
Yeah.
that's a big thing, and it
Yeah.
certainly from what one of your things was a couple of
Yeah,
weeks.
I feel like I've
back.
switched off quite a bit in general recently
Good.
with work and stuff. But it's I think I'll switch off more once COVID's out of the way. It's one of those things where I can't get off my mind. I want to get that done. I want this to go. I want to develop this. I want to get this progress. Because I was starting a new job, and it's not what I want. Like not
Yeah.
how I wanted to start a new job. Because I wanted to come back and go right. We're gonna do this, but COVID just won't let me do anything. At the
All
moment.
all the additional COVID stuff is additional work, and
Yeah.
it's not like you can sort of concentrate on other things. No, I get that. I do think as well. Every so often, you just need them extra couple of days off, a long weekend
Yeah.
or something like that, just to refresh yourself. And maybe this has maybe just fallen at a good time for you. Just
Hopefully,
like
yeah.
this half term, just have
Yeah.
a couple of days extra off. Go back a bit fresh. And let's be fair, we all feel a little bit nicer when it's sunshiny, don't we?
Yeah.
And certainly we've been cooped up inside for the last 12 months or so. We can get out a little bit now and travel and things like that. So
Yeah. I tell you what I've learned as well. Say there's a pandemic on. I don't think people realise what personal space means.
I get to, yeah, I know what you mean. We've been out for a walk and that, and I think I get the feeling that some people think it's just gone.
Yeah.
It's just all gone. And I get that whatever works for you, but you've also still got to think about other people.
Yeah. I was queuing for somewhere, and this man and woman, and they came up, and they came that close. I could feel them. You could feel the presence on the shoulder. And they was having a conversation, and they turned around and said, "Oh, that's nice. You had a bit of chicken for your tea. Do you want to move away from me, please?"
I can see it in your teeth.
But I'm just like, are you guys not aware? And I think the jab's a lot to do with it. People feel like that's it. We're good to go. Hot to trot. Do you know what I mean? Let's do this.
Yeah. The strange thing about, I don't want to go on about COVID too much, but the strange thing about the jabs is that 75% of the country have had it done, yet cases are still going on. I don't know why. I understand why, but it just feels like you're trying to pee into wind.
Yeah.
A bit, but hey,
We'll get into that.
no,
that's not. This
We've
podcast
managed
is
this
about.
podcast for nearly a year, and apart from touching on COVID, we've not really delved into it because that's not what people
Yeah, it's
are here.
boring.
It's boring.
I'm sick of it.
Do you know what I've learned this week?
Go on. What you learn, mate?
I challenged you last week to give me something that is a positive that doesn't come with a negative. I've got it.
Are you really? Because genuinely, there's not been one day I've not thought about this, and I genuinely can't think of anything that's a positive.
Honestly,
That
it's
doesn't
been
have
on
a
my
negative.
mind. We went for a walk yesterday, and I was talking to Andy and Lexi about it, and they was trying to give me things that was a good thing, and I was just giving them constant bad things that came with it. Got it. I've done it.
Right. Well, just before I said, the closest I got was a good deed. Like, you know, if I just give something, but there's still, I've done that to make myself feel better. Do you know you've given your time because it's nice to do. If you do something for someone, it's a good deed. You've done it. It's selfless, but you've done it because it makes you feel better.
There is, I can certainly see what you mean.
That's close I got.
But you win-win then, aren't you? You feel good, somebody else feels good. I don't think that's selfish if you give up your time to do something for somebody else. It's not like you're doing it just to... If you was doing something like... I can't think of a situation, but if you're doing something that is selfish, just... Or you can't do this, so I'm going to do it for you. In that type of scenario, then that's, and I'm going to show you that I'm much bigger and better than you because I can do it and you can't do it. That's the selfish thing.
Yeah, I suppose.
If somebody genuinely said, "Oh, I'm moving house this weekend," and you went, "I'll come and help you," that's not selfish.
No, it's not. But there's always that thing in the back of your mind. You owe me a favour. Do you know what I mean? So like, and if you did something for me, like you genuinely give your time, I would then always be thinking, I owe you a favour. Not necessarily I'm always thinking, oh my God, Andy, I owe you a favour. But the point if you said to me, oh, can you do such and such? I don't feel I could ever say no. Or if I did, it'd be a case of, oh, bloody hell. Do him a favour. And that would hit me in the mind. And there probably is nothing in there. And if I genuinely couldn't do it, I genuinely couldn't do it. But I still would feel like there'd be an element of, oh God, do him a favour, but he didn't do me a favour.
We're close here. We are very close to having this.
Well, step back then.
We are close here to having this sorted. So we've got a good thing without a bad thing. Just being kind. Just saying hello to somebody. If you walk past somebody in the street, just a hello. There's no comeback. You don't feel like they need to say hello. Just holding a door open for somebody. So my other one was, and this comes down to like with obviously what Lex is doing, saving a life.
Oh, yeah.
I was reading something online the other day, and somebody had gone in to do a rescue and saved somebody that had fallen into a river. They'd saved them, both safe, got to side. That, I think, is doing something good with no negatives.
There's a negative.
No!
I can think of a negative, and I've seen it firsthand. The trauma that comes from it.
Yeah, I think you've knocked my Skittles down, haven't you?
Because I mean, we've been here wearing the t-shirt, and that was very traumatic when we did all that. Not that it keeps me up at night or all like that, but in the fact that the wrong person, that scarred you for life.
Yeah.
And if it had gone and if it had gone the other way, we was lucky enough that we brought them back to life.
Yeah.
If it had gone the other way, that could have been worse than, because like it doesn't haunt me now, but I sometimes think, oh man, that was some real deal. And I get paramedics, it's like they see it all the time and stuff like that. So that's, you're like sort of acclimatized to it. You sort of
they switch off, don't they?
Yeah. Whereas for us, it's once in a blue moon. So yeah, for me, the negative there is it can be life changing.
So we're still in the same boat then.
But I think the good deed, or to say hello, to be nice to somebody. Because
my thing is just be kind. Just if you again, we went for a walk and saw somebody sat in their garden, and I just said hello.
I always do it.
I don't know. It's just one of them things. I just think, what does it cost me? It don't cost me anything just to be polite. It might have made that woman's day that somebody just said hello to her. So so that's mine. Just be kind, and that leads us perfectly on, as if by magic, onto our next week's episode.
Oh, nice.
You like how I've smoothed that?
Yeah, I like it.
Smooth it. So next week it is Mental Health Week.
It is.
So it's come round. We've done a mental health episode, and I think it's important to keep touching on the fact of it, but we don't want to go down the same road we went before. No. So what we're looking at is just doing something that makes you happy. So you said about, last week before, you went to golf. It's just something that gets you out. It gets you in the fresh air. It gives you, as parents, you do need time away from your kids and your partner. And you need to live your life and do your own thing. So I think that's the sort of avenue we're going to go down, aren't we?
Yeah.
It's obviously the Euros have started.
Coming
or
in
about
good.
to start in a couple of days. So that's our thing, isn't it? We've
Yeah.
not really talked about sport on this podcast in a year.
No, just
So-
brushed on it. The kids doing sport and stuff. Never really talked, and obviously.
So it'll fit in quite nicely, I think, with things that we like to do that gives us a bit of mental headspace and things like that. So that's going to be our topic next week. We'll highlight on the fact, and yeah, we'll have a bit of a chat on things that make us happy.
So, what makes me happy is drinking alcohol. Can I get Stevie next week?
Yes, you can. Yeah, but don't forget the negative to come with that is the hangover.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
It's true.
If anybody knows anything out there that is got a positive that doesn't have a negative that follows it, just let
I
us
think
know.
we're close, aren't we? I think we've got close. We've picked a few things, but I think just being kind to people. Right. Have a good week, won't you?
I will. You have a good week.
Keep the sun shining, and we will do this all again next week.
As always,
Keep yourself smiling.
stay safe.
Thank you for listening right to the end of this week's podcast, and we hope that you've enjoyed it. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at dad_tales_ or get involved by emailing us at dadtales@outlook.com. You can also now join our Facebook page by searching Dad Tales.
Keep the feedback coming. We are genuinely humbled by all the input and the comments you are providing us. Stay safe, celebrate small victories, and keep smiling.